So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman, and it's my great pleasure and privilege to be here today with Wendy Kremer. It's been some years, and this week and I really want to thank her for coming in last minute. I think many people know that every 6 to 8 weeks, Dr. Nugent joins us on this call, and sometimes I prioritize a whole stretch of Saturdays waiting to hear when his schedule can fit. And then sometimes it's last minute when I find out. So I'm deeply appreciative that Wendy jumped in and just said yes. So my name, again, I said Sharon Whiteman. I do this call with Dinah Hunter and Gary Knapp, and we love being here with you, whether it's live or whether it's later. If you're watching the recording, we know Saturday morning's not the best time for especially busy families. So we're grateful to you no matter when you take in this education. Now, Wendy Kremer, along with her husband, Don, joined Mannatech in 1998 and reached Platinum Presidential in 2003. That's absolutely awesome. Over the years, they have helped 39 associates reach Presidential Director and above. They have built an outstanding Mannatech organization by focusing on developing leaders and maintaining happy and loyal customers. They have been one of the top 20 income earners in the company 6 years in a row. They've received the 2 highest awards the company bestows, Business Builder of the Year and the Most New Business Development Award. In 2020, Wendy achieved another of her goals, graduating from Bible College as a licensed minister. Wendy is a writer and teacher and maintains social media blog, wendyleekremer.com. She also sends a daily inspirational email to a large subscription list, and her first book, More Than a Ticket to Heaven, will be available on Amazon within a few weeks. That sounds like an awesome title. The lifestyle video is entitled Out of Business to Booming Business with Mannatech. So we're talking today about the legacy of Mannatech, about how their story has continued for 20 years plus. And I know you probably want to get your notepad out so you can jot down some notes. So Wendy, welcome and God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sharon. And it's wonderful to be with you. I don't know when it was, I haven't been on your call for years. So it's wonderful to be here with you all this morning. And it's still Friday afternoon here in Arizona. So it's, you guys are way ahead of us. But anyway, it's great to be with you today. And I want to congratulate you guys on continuing to do these calls for so many years, since 2003. That is amazing. And that shows your diligence and your faithfulness to do these calls. And, that's really what it takes to build a Mannatech business, to be faithful and just keep at it. So we've actually been with Mannatech for 24 years this month. So I had to look it up online to see how long it had been. So, but it's been, we've got a lot of history. And like Sharon and I were just talking, there's some ups and downs, and it's good times and bad times, but it just keeps on going. So we're very thankful for this company. And what's funny now is that after being with Mannatech for 24 years now, we're really seeing the anti-aging effects of our products. People in Mannatech just don't seem to look their age, which I think is wonderful. So I'm still trying to be a grandmother and never look like a grandmother, but it's getting harder, I have to say. But just a little background on us: we have 4 kids, 10 grandchildren, and now we have 4 great grandchildren. So we are blessed a lot with those kids. So I think what I'd like to do is just start with a little bit of our background, Sharon, and kind of how we got to Mannatech. I'm sure you have some new associates on here since the last time I shared my story. And I'll talk a little bit about how we came to Mannatech and went Platinum Presidential, and then also some things that we've learned along the way, and some of the tips to help people get to their dreams and goals as well. Okay?
Awesome. Yep. Fantastic.
All right. Awesome. Well, I met my husband when I'm going to start back there just because it's kind of a funny story. But when I met my husband, I was a single mom with 2 kids. They were 7 and 9 at the time. And I was a real estate agent. And I've always liked being an entrepreneur. I've always liked having my own kind of business. So that's probably another reason why network marketing was so attractive to me. But anyway, I was a real estate agent. And so I listed Don's he had a horse ranch, a 53-acre horse ranch. I don't know what that is in the, I don't know, you guys use metrics,
We
I
use
think.
acres here too.
Oh, do you use acres?
Yeah.
Okay, but horse ranch and 7,000 square foot house. So it was a huge, beautiful home. And after I listed his house, we started dating, and I ended up marrying him and moving into it and didn't sell the house for quite a few years. So real estate really paid off. So that was good. Anyway, Don owned a trucking company at the time, and he had 350 over the road long haul trucks. And it was a lot. It was a big business. He did, and it was a good business for like 25 years. So he'd had this company. And but a few years after we got married, there was some financial challenges and some things that went on in the trucking industry that caused Don to decide that he wanted to close down the company and sell off the trucks. So I won't go into the whole story, but some really bad things ended up happening, and we ended up really losing everything and starting over from zero, basically. I had to get a job. We started praying for just a way to get that lifestyle back that we had had with the trucking company. And about a year after this, we were introduced to network marketing. And this is a pretty funny story. And so in case anyone ever is prejudging someone or whether they might be interested or not, you got to hear this story. So one of our former employees, Marvin's his name, he had gone to work for another company in Indiana, a few states away from us. And so he comes to us one day and he says, "Hey, Don, I've met some very successful businessmen who, and I've told them about you and about your background, and they would like to meet you." And he said they're having a big business event in Indiana this next weekend, and they asked me to invite you to come as their guest. So the problem was that next weekend was my birthday, and we already had birthday plans. But we were so desperately looking for another business that we bought last minute airline tickets, which were very expensive, canceled my birthday plans, and flew to Indiana to walk into an Amway network marketing rally. But we didn't know anything about network marketing at the time. And so we were amazed. I thought, wow, look at the women in the pretty gowns, and there were guys in tuxedos, and everybody was very encouraging to one another and cheering for each other for successes. And I'm like, wow, you don't see that in the regular, dog eat dog kind of conventional business. And so we were really attracted to it. And so I just want to stop and say at that point that not to judge people whether you think that they're going to be interested or you think they're already successful in business or not. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes with people. And so we were really excited to be introduced to network marketing, and we didn't even mind that we had paid our own money to fly to get to this rally. We decided to join the company. And so we really got a lot of really good network marketing training through Amway. And actually, just to tell you how broke we were at the time, when we wanted to make sure we went to all the events. Going to the events is a really important thing in network marketing. And so when we had the big house, when we had the trucking company, I had a cleaning lady that cleaned for me 4 days a week. And when we were wanting to be able to go to these network marketing events, we were totally broke. So I started cleaning house with the lady who had been my cleaning lady. I started cleaning houses with her, other people's houses. And so, it was a very humbling experience, but Don and I were so determined that we were going to learn everything we could about network marketing. We loved the idea of being able to start a business from scratch with no overhead and be able to, do, whatever, the sky's the limit on what you can do. So anyway, so we did whatever it took to be able to get to the events. We didn't let anything stop us. So after a few years in Amway, though, we were having doing a meeting, showing the plan for someone. And this person that we were sharing it with asked us a very strange, we thought it was a strange question at the time. They asked us, are your products patented? I don't know, do you guys say patented or patented?
Well, I'm Canadian, so I'm not a good judge.
Oh, you're not a good judge. Okay, patented. so anyway, they asked us if the products were patented. And I'm like, it's laundry soap. You don't patent laundry soap. Everybody has laundry soap. And but that got us thinking about patented products. And they said that they were also looking at a company called Mannatech, and that they had patented technologies that were really supposed to, change people's lives. So we got to thinking about it. We got to looking at some of what they had. And Dawn, having a business background, understood that if you could sell a patented product, that was really much, much better than just something people could get at the grocery store. And so we started looking into it more. We heard testimonies, we saw the science, and we saw it work for ourselves. So we decided to switch to Mannatech, and it was the best decision we ever made. And so in the beginning, like I said, I was working at a job for the first couple of years that we were in Mannatech then, and Dawn stayed focused on our Mannatech business. And so I would go to work during the day, come home, we'd grab something quick to eat, and then we would go out and do a meeting. And we did that quite a few nights a week. We were really, we had decided this was the way we were going to get back the lifestyle we had with our trucking company. And so we were determined to do whatever it took. And that's a big key. You've got to make that decision that you're going to do whatever it takes. And so we made it a priority. We planned our birthday party dinners and things like that around what was going on in Mannatech. We didn't take days off. We just worked. And, and in 4 years' time, actually, it took us 2 years to get to presidential. And at that point, I quit my job. And what it had taken Dawn 25 years to develop in the trucking business to develop a good 6-figure income with 350 trucks, 450 employees, and a lot of liability. In 4 years, we were able to replace that 6-figure income with Mannatech with just 2 cell phones and 2 laptop computers. And none of the overhead. So that shows you the difference between a conventional business and a networking business. You can accomplish so much more in so much shorter time if you really treat it like a business and stay focused on it. So then 4 years after that, we were actually able to double that income again. But the best part was that we were able to help 39 people reach presidential level or above. And that drastically changed people's lives. And changed their health, changed their lifestyle. So all that was really, really rewarding to us. There's just not another business like Mannatech, and especially like Mannatech. And Mannatech took us on trips all over the world. We went on cruises to the Bahamas, to Alaska, to Jamaica. We went to Hawaii every January for 17 years. We've gone to Hawaii. Trips to South Africa and Germany and London, even a trip to Malta for an incentive trip. Those are kind of trips that people dream of taking their whole life long, their whole life. Maybe they'll get to take one. But with Mannatech, you can take a trip of a lifetime every year with their incentives. But one place we've never gotten to go is Australia, and we've always wanted to go there. So maybe we'll still get there sometime with Mannatech. So, but I do want to tell you that network marketing is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It definitely takes a lot of work, and like I've said, that we really work hard at it. It's not really an easy business. I mean, the things that you're doing is easy, but you have to learn how to keep your mindset strong and and it's really a great personal development, education, I'll say. But when you have consistency and continue to put in the effort, it definitely pays off. So the way I look at it is my worst day in Mannatech is better than any day on a job. So I still love the idea of being able to have my own hours and work from home. So we were able to develop a really good ongoing income. And that is because we have such amazing products in Mannatech that once people get on them, they don't want to ever get off the products. And they love our products and they stay loyal to them. So that's why, and I don't know if you guys call it subscription orders in Australia now. They've changed it to calling it a subscription order. But our auto orders, those are so vital because people will stay consistent on. And I don't even start someone unless they say they will get on an automatic order for at least 3 to 6 months, because we really want to see them get the results. But, with our business, the retention rate with our customers has averaged over 10 years, and actually for a lot of people, it's been over 20 years now. We have customers who started with us in 1998 that are still ordering today. And I don't know what other kind of business that you can still be making an income off customers, off work you did 24 years ago. But in Mannatech, you do. So that's been a real blessing for us. And there's a lot of like currently we've got a lot of challenges here in the U.S. I don't know if you do in Australia with inventory.
Yeah.
Do you have some inventory issues there too?
Yeah, we've just broken through. I think everything's available now, but it's been about 3 to 6 months. We expect future challenges as well with the world the way it is.
Of course, yes. And we have Amber Toast Life on back order right now. And, when you have your main products on back order, that's a bit of a challenge. So, but one thing that we learned from the trucking company is that even when we had that company, policies change, routes change for the trucks, customers go out of business that we were hauling for. There's always things changing and there's always challenges. But when you own the business, you figure out ways to make it work. You figure out, what you need to do differently, and you get really creative. And one thing I would encourage us all right now with all of the challenges going on is that you treat Mannatech that this is your business. You have to take ownership of it. And when you have ownership of this business, and you have your own company that you're running right now. And sometimes our products have had a little bit of a challenge lately getting to us. But when you're an owner, you treat it differently than if you're just working for a business. If you're just an employee, you can just, say, oh, well, whatever, and you can go get a different job. But when you are the owner, you figure out a way to make things happen and to work around whatever challenges you're facing. And so, you make it happen. So that's why I want to challenge you to take ownership. If this is your business and you have chosen this as your way to make the lifestyle that you want, the lifestyle that you've dreamed of, to have the freedom, the time freedom and financial freedom, then stick with it because it will pay off for you and things will get better. There's a little video that says, I am Mannatech. And that's what we have to say, that we are the company. We are Mannatech. We are the representatives of this company. And so, we can get creative in the ways that we're doing things. When things are challenging. So, but one of the benefits that I've found of this business, and especially, I guess, after being around for as long as we have now, is that we have the freedom and the flexibility to live where we want, and the time freedom to do some other things that are really desires of our hearts as well. And so, after 18 years with Mannatech, and because we were able to develop an ongoing income, I was able then to pursue one of my other dreams, which Sharon already mentioned, and that was to go back to Bible school. I love to study the Bible. And so I wanted to go to school and actually get a college degree in at Bible school. So in 2016, we moved to Colorado so that I could start attending Bible college. And I graduated in 2020, right during COVID. That wasn't a lot of fun. But I have, I'm a licensed minister and I have a blog. And like Sharon said, I just finished writing a book. In fact, I just in the mail today got my first copy of the book from my publisher.
Oh,
You're probably
wow.
seeing it backwards, but anyway, More Than a Ticket to Heaven. It'll be on Amazon in just a few weeks. So I'll be putting out some information about that when it comes out. But while I was still at school, even though I had taken a little bit of a sabbatical from really building my Mannatech business, I still took care of my customers. But I was able to keep that business going even through taking really, basically, I took 3 years off to go to school. And, you know, you can't do that with just a regular job. So that's another blessing that I found from Mannatech is that you create this ongoing income. And I don't think you could do this with a lot of networking businesses, but with Mannatech, with as strong a products as we have, you can create that income that just continues on when you have loyal customers. So that's been a huge blessing to us. So a couple of things that once I was done with school and I finished my book, I decided to go back to working my Mannatech business full time. And so, you know, I have to say it was a little bit awkward coming back because I felt like I had been out of it so long that I was on the outside looking back in at it. And, you know, I had to give myself some time to get things back up to speed, learn again what, you know, lots of things had changed since I had been gone for a while, or not really gone. I never like left Mannatech, but I wasn't as involved. So I had to take some time to let myself learn again. And so that was a little bit of a challenge to me. But one thing that I did is that and actually Tim Altvader, I don't know, do you guys know Tim Altvader there?
Yeah,
He's
I
their
used
sales
to work
director.
with Tim years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's awesome. I love that he's at corporate in the office now, because coming from the field, he understands us in the field. And so he's really been working with me and coaching me. But one of the things that he had suggested that I do was really work on my mindset, because I was feeling kind of out of it, like, you know, I didn't belong here anymore. And so he said, write down some affirmations that you're going to declare over yourself every day. And that will help you to get your mindset back to, you know, where it should be. So, and I encourage everybody to do that. If you haven't written down a list of things that these are the things you're going to keep speaking into your life. So like I wrote down, I'm just going to pull this up here if I can show you. I have it on my desk. I wrote down, I, Wendy Kremer, am wildly successful. I have 28 years of network marketing experience. I know how to build this business. I wrote, I am a top producer in Mannatech. I'm excited about the future of Mannatech. I love my company. I'm always attracting new customers and associates. I am courageous and confident. I'm a good communicator. I'm an excellent listener. I know the right thing to say at the right time. I'm great at asking questions, and I'm a magnet to entrepreneurs who are attracted to my business. And I always follow up with prospects, and I do what needs to be done without procrastinating. So that's one of my hard ones, is procrastinating. And then also that I meet people where they are and I help them to get where they want to go. So those are some of the things that I speak to myself every day, and sometimes several times a day, to really work on my mindset. Another thing that I will do is, and Tim had suggested this to me, is that rather than using, you know, there's a lot of tools to prospect with now. And there's apps. I assume you guys have apps there too that you're using, video apps and things. So what Tim suggested, because I said, I don't think these apps are working for me real well, and I wanted to attract business builders. So he told me the most valuable thing that you have, especially for those of you who have been around for a while, is your story. Whether it's a product story or it's a story about how your lifestyle has changed, you have a story. And when you put that story up, maybe you got to go on an incentive trip, or you got to, you've met new friends, whatever your story is, when you talk about your story in just a short little, like 2-minute version, like if I would take my story and take it down to 2 minutes of what I've been able to accomplish. And then say, this is what I've been able to do. And now I am building again, and I'm looking for people who want the same kind of things that I've been able to create. And I'm willing to mentor a few people now to help them to create the business or the lifestyle that they want. And are you interested? A lot of people with, that are struggling with inflation and gas prices and all of that, they're looking for something else. So if you use your story, rather than just a little video from Mannatech, your story is going to be more effective than most anything else. So I thought that was really a good way to prospect. And for me, that makes it very, very comfortable, because you can tell your story. And you can also talk a little bit about your story, but then talk about your upline story. Maybe you don't have a fantastic story in Mannatech yet, but if you're new in the business, you can say, this is what I've seen, but this is what my upline I'm working with has been able to accomplish, and they'll help us accomplish that too. So the other thing that I started doing is that I am actually working my business again as if I had a job. and I've set hours. I work from 10 to 3 every day, Monday through Friday. And I have a goal to contact 3 associates, talk to 3 of my associates a day, just to encourage them, find out what they're doing. And then 5 customers a day and 2 new prospects a day. So I write that down every day, who I've talked to, and what I'm doing with each one of them. And when I've accomplished those things, 3 associates, 5 customers, and 2 prospects, then I'm done for the day. Because what I found too is it's really important. Mannatech can take over your life, especially when you're working from home. It can be something that you're just doing every waking hour, but then you don't have balance in your life. And my husband really appreciates me spending a little bit of time with him too, and making dinner and stuff like that. So if you can have some hours that you at least do the majority of your work, so that you can be done and give yourself some time off, that has really helped me to have that balance. So Sharon, do you have any questions for me or anything that's come up?
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we'll start with Gary's. Have you integrated, I know the Penny app's quite new for Australia or Australasia. Have you integrated Penny app as part of your program for your restarting your business?
Yes, I have. I really like the Penny app. I use that a lot to remind me who I need to call, and I'll put my follow-ups on there so that I'm not having follow-ups on all these little pieces of paper. Yeah. It keeps me organized. So yes, I do really like the Penny app.
And well, the other thing that people often gain benefit from hearing, what do you do when you reach struggles or roadblocks? I've been it'll be 24 years for me in November, so I'm a few months behind you with Mannatech. And I, like everyone, there's been lots of storms and massive changes in my life that's taken me away. But this is a consistent love for me, and I think this community is worth it. That's why we're here. So, what do you do when those roadblocks happen, and how do you coach others in your team?
When because there's always stuff like that's going to happen. That's what as far as seeing yourself as the business owner, it helps you to be able to come up with solutions. And I have to go back to what is my purpose. And then also I will listen to stories, and I have to say this, I will go back and listen to non-compliant stories. And so for myself, to remind myself, yes, these products are amazing. These products work. So I don't share those with other people, but I have I have ones that I have that I will just remind myself of what is so great about these products and how they work. And then, keeping your focus on your goal. And sometimes you just have to take a little bit of a break, go do something different for a little bit, and get your mind clear again. Reading books, of course, I'm definitely a woman of faith, so I pray about it a lot. And I found that, like the other day, I really wanted to get back into prospecting, and I was great at talking to my customers, but just calling someone up to prospect was just kind of weird to me. And so I just asked the Lord for some people that I should call, and this lady's name came to my mind. Her name is B, and she lives in a city a ways away from us, but I'd heard she'd had some health issues and been in the hospital. So I just called her to see how she was doing. Didn't plan on saying anything about Mannatech unless it came up. And as I'm talking to her, and she's telling me how she keeps saying, "Oh my gosh, you called me at exactly the right time. This is just perfect timing, and God must have told you to call." And so she tells me how she's been struggling with being tired all the time. And since she got out of the hospital, she's still been really tired and all of this. And so it just kind of came up naturally in conversation to say, have you ever heard of glyconutrients? And I started telling her a little bit about it. And she says, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I can't believe that you called today. This is perfect timing. I was just asking God this morning for a solution. Do I need to take something to get my energy back?" So that was my first call that I had made to actually, call someone to prospect. And it just came out naturally. So when it comes naturally and you're not forcing it, that's when you can just have a good, comfortable, friendly conversation with someone. And it doesn't sound like you're selling them something. But so.
That's awesome. I'm getting goosebumps on my goosebumps through this little time we're spending together. It's divinely inspired, isn't it? Like Mannatech is a mission that's really worth it. And so how do you get new people started, Wendy? I mean, Mannatech's changed so much. What do you recommend for people getting a new partner started?
Well, I let them know first that they're not by themselves, and that we're doing this as a team. I don't want them to just go out and start just willy-nilly telling everybody about Mannatech. The first thing I have them do is go through the training on Mannatech website, on training.mannatech.com. I assume they have one in Australia as well. But it's the onboarding training that kind of goes through some of the basics about Mannatech, and then we talk about that afterwards. And then I want to help them to launch well and quickly, so that I help them with some phone calls, and we find out who they know. I help them with a list, and then we set some goals, what they want to accomplish. And I just had a gal I started here just recently, and she was so excited about the products. In the first month, she got to regional or to director level, and she just was telling everybody. So it's that was really fun to work with someone who was enthusiastic. And but helping them along the way, letting them know they're not alone and that you're going to be there to help them. We have a checklist that we go by to get them started. And because there's some things that we know that we just assume they know, that you've really got to go through each thing. But that training.mannatech website really helps with that. So, and then we get them plugged into our team calls right away, introduce them to Upline and get them connected so that they realize that they're part of a team. And that's how you get them to really have a good first experience.
Awesome. And, Mannatech's been modernized and we're moving forward with what about the good old three-way call? Is that still part of your strategy?
Yes, it is, because it's still the saying, "A prophet's not honored in his own city," is still true. Is that sometimes it just helps to have that third person on the phone with you, and it's usually a secondary thing. They'll have the initial conversation and then say, "That's a great question. Let me get Wendy on the phone. She can explain that to you." And so we do that a lot, and we still use three-way calls. And so we use Zoom for most of our meetings now. We're not really in person so much, but we still will have one-on-one calls, the three-way calls, the Zoom calls and things.
Zoom's really enhanced the ability to connect, hasn't it? Even three-way calls are better on Zoom.
Yeah, right. That's right. I like being able to see their faces. So yeah, doing it on Zoom is a great way to do the three-way calls.
And how do you get do you have recommendations for bringing on a new product customer? How often do you keep in touch with them?
Well, that's what's so great about the Penny app is it will put them into your follow-up on a weekly basis for the first couple of weeks, and then or like when their initial kit comes, and then their follow-ups every couple of weeks, I think it is. And so that's really important. I just had a gal that I started this last month. And, also because we've had some problems with getting the amber toast lately. So I've stayed in touch with her and let her know that her product's coming and this is a great decision she's made, and just continue to encourage her while she's waiting for that. But what I've found is Mannatech has just been overboard. I mean, just like they've done everything they possibly can to keep the customers happy through this time. And, I've seen just such a side of Mannatech of how they're all about the customers and taking care of their customers. So that's been really, really good. And and I also will text my customers more as well. They seem to be much more open to getting text messages. And so I will text them and tell them, hey, I want you to have the best possible experience with your products, and how is things going for you, and just keeping in touch that way is really, really important. And then also what I do, and this would be for more of a presidential level, but I send out a monthly, it's kind of like a newsletter, but a monthly product focus to my whole downline. I use Constant Contact so I can put in videos and pictures and stuff. But I will send out, like this last month, because Amber Toast wasn't available, I sent out something on, let's see, what was our products this month? Immunostart, and on, like the coffee, because coffee's back in stock. We hadn't had that for a while. So each month I'll send out a couple of videos about, from Dr. Nugent or something, to everybody in the downline, just to also interest in them in some new products that maybe they haven't tried. And then with their loyalty points too. Mannatech has been giving some extra loyalty points because some of the products haven't been available. And I don't know if they're doing that there in Australia, but I don't want people using their loyalty points for just their regular orders. What we always encourage them to do is try something new with their loyalty points. Or I tell them, this is a great time for you to buy skincare, is to use that to get your loyalty points for trying our skincare, or getting some Mighty Bears for your grandkids or whatever. So, but staying in touch with them and giving them ideas like that really helps.
And do you have a habit or a procedure for inviting referrals from your team, like from your product customers? Obviously your business partners, that's what it's all about, but how do you encourage them to refer people to you?
Well, we have I don't know what they do in Australia. Do they have the 20% to the customer now for a referral?
Yes, I think they do.
Okay, so what we have, because they can get 20% back in credits for referring. If it's a customer and they're referring a customer, they can get 20% in credits back, to go towards their next order. So that's the thing that we've been letting our customers know, especially because, with inflation, things have gotten tougher for people to stay on their orders. So we make sure that they know that if they refer someone, even as a customer, they can get credits back on their own order. So that's been a big thing for us to do as well. And then I also tell them if they have someone they want to refer to, that I will call them and talk to that person. If they will just call them first and tell them I'm going to call them to explain the products to them, then that really helps to set up that call. And so I'll have a customer that if they're going to call and tell them I'm going to call and tell them about the products, when they call, they're going to already sell their friend on the products before I ever even call them. So that's how we kind of tag team on that. And they will they'll help me to get it's their referral, but I'm going to take care of it for them.
Awesome. And if you have team members, business partners that get discouraged, how do you help them? And what do you recommend?
You're asking me so many hard questions.
Well, these are the sticking points for business builders,
yes, that's right. No, and there's always those times when people get stuck. Like I've got an associate right now that she's just gotten distracted with summer and things that are going on and vacations and stuff. So what she and I are going to do, she's coming back from her vacation next week. And so we've already set up a time to get together for lunch. So whenever I can, I want to get face to face with people and be able to encourage them, and then go back to, okay, so what was it about Mannatech that you really loved in the first place? And you've already seen it work. You've already seen, you're getting income coming in. Let's, what would you like to create with that? And we get to dreaming about what do you want down the road with Mannatech? Is there any other way that you could get those things? And just helping them to get back on track.
Like reconnecting with their why.
Yeah, just reconnecting. Yeah, reconnect with their why, and let them know I'm there for them, and then set up something that we could do together. So that will help to give them a project to come back and get involved again.
In my experience, for myself and people that I've partnered with, often the sticking point is a self-esteem issue or a mind talk. So you've spoken about affirmations. Is there anything else you recommend for people to keep their mindset positive?
Reading books is always a big thing. And, there's so many good books that we've had, that we've recommended over the years. But I like the book, The Slight Edge. That's by Jeff Olson. And, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad books, those books. And just, for me, it's reading the Bible. There's so many positive things you can get from just being encouraged. And so you do have to on purpose work on your mindset. If you let it go in today's world, oh my gosh, you could get discouraged 5 minutes of the news and you could be in the dumps. So, I keep my mind on positive things. I keep positive music playing in my house. And, I just have to constantly battle that, those negative things coming at you, and not let yourself go down the road of what if this happens and then this is going to happen and then that could happen. And you start getting into fear of what could happen, rather than thinking, okay, what about this? What if my business grows, and how is it going to be in 5 years from now? And Mannatech's going to end up being the company that's seen as the greatest nutritional company of all time. And you get yourself thinking positively instead of negatively, and you can turn your mind to think the way that you want, the way that is going to be a benefit to you instead of a detriment to you.
Awesome.
And it is on purpose.
It is on purpose, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's and it's so worth it, Mannatech. So Wendy, I'm just thinking, I think that you've covered most things that are really important. And we've committed recently to, not filling a 60-minute hour, because actually people often will rewatch and review if it's shorter, like 30 to 40 minutes. So as a platinum, you have access to a different level of connection with corporate. What do you feel excited about in the future for Mannatech?
Mannatech continues to always stay ahead of the curve and stay on top of what's the latest, the cutting edge things. I am so impressed with our corporate executives. Al Bala in particular, he is so fighting for this company and fighting for the associates, and he's always willing to be so out there trying new things with us. And I love that. And Landon and the whole team. And, Stan Frederick, his book that he just published recently, I don't remember the name of it, but I remember that I think it's a tagline on it, but it says, never, ever, ever give up. And that, to have people at the helm of this company that have that kind of a mindset and care about the associates and the company, that's why I know that we're in good hands and that we have a bright future ahead of us in Mannatech. I believe that this company is going to come out on top in the natural supplement companies, as being seen as this company is beyond the others, everything else out there, because we have always maintained such a high integrity and high quality in our products, and we can be very proud to be part of Mannatech.
I completely agree. I don't think I've ever had a call. I've had so many goosebumps. It's just having waves and waves and waves, which means we're spiritually connected, everybody. And so what's in your heart to leave people with today, Wendy?
Oh, just to not give up, to just stay with it. I know we're in some tough times right now, but you have to know that you are valuable. And the message that you have to take to people is a life-changing message. They need it today more than ever. And I just want to encourage you to just stick with it and just dig into your inner greatness. You have such greatness in you, and God's going to use you mightily to touch people's lives and to help them not only with their health but also financially. People need everything that we have to offer, is what people need desperately right now. And so we just have to be bold, be courageous and confident, and share with everyone that we possibly can. And we're going to see amazing benefits down the road as we stay with it and stay consistent.
Awesome. That's fantastic, Wendy. Thank you so much for your time today. We'll complete there. And everybody, we have Bella and Vincent next week, which is awesome. They're award winners from last year, and they're going to share with us. They're just a really powerful couple in their Mannatech business. So Wendy, God bless you. Thank you so very much for being here and jumping in there at the last minute for me. You saved me. I'm deeply appreciative.
My pleasure. It's great to be with you all. I love you all. I love you, Mannatechers.
Yeah, I love you too, Wendy. Hey, everybody, have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.